Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln wheat penny coin that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Number 1. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of American coinage, where history, mystery, and value collide. On this journey, we're zooming in on a small, copper-colored coin that might just be hiding in plain sight, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. Now, if you're like most people, you've probably come across a wheat penny or two in your lifetime. They might seem like nothing more than old pocket change, but some of them, like the one we're talking about today, could be hiding an incredible secret. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll learn how a coin worth just 1 cent at the time of minting could today be worth a small fortune. Let's travel back to 1945. The Second World War had just ended. America was breathing a sigh of relief, soldiers were returning home, and the country was on the brink of a major post-war boom. During this time, the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of coins to support the recovering economy. Among them was the Lincoln wheat penny, a familiar coin to many Americans, bearing the face of one of the nation's most beloved presidents, but not all 1945 pennies are created equal. You see, the Denver Mint, identified by the small d below the year on the coin's face, produced an enormous number of these wheat pennies that year, over 266 million, in fact. So what makes one of these coins so special? What could possibly set it apart from the rest? The answer lies in the smallest of details, things that even trained eyes can miss. It could be an ultra-rare minting error, an off-center strike, or even a tiny difference in the composition of the metal. Sometimes it's a coin that was struck using a worn-out die that created unique patterns. In some cases, it's simply the fact that the coin has been preserved in nearly flawless condition, untouched by time. In a world of mass production, perfect preservation becomes rare. Very rare, and let's not forget the design itself. On the front or obverse, you'll find the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which has graced the penny since 1909. On the back or reverse, you'll see the simple but elegant wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This is why collectors refer to them as wheat pennies. It's a design that captures the essence of early 20th century America, a time of industry, agriculture, and growth. Now here's where things get truly exciting. While most 1945 wheat pennies you might find in a coin jar or a thrift store collection are only worth a few cents or maybe a couple of dollars, some, due to their rarity, condition, or special features, are valued astronomically higher. These are the coins that turn average collectors into passionate hunters. These are the coins that make the hobby thrilling. Imagine finding a small copper penny that was minted in 1945, perfectly preserved, possibly with a one-of-a-kind error, and verified by expert graders. It might look like any other penny at first glance, but to a collector, it's a masterpiece. And for one of these coins, just one, the price it fetched left jaws dropping across the collector community. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the most exceptional example of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny ever discovered was sold for an astonishing $125,000. Yes, you heard that right. $125,000, all for a 1 cent coin. So next time you're sorting through spare change, don't overlook that old penny with wheat stalks on the back. It could be history in your hands, and a treasure in your pocket. Thanks for joining us today on this amazing journey through time and treasure. If you enjoyed this story and want to uncover more hidden gems from the world of rare coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you're first in line for our next coin discovery. Until next time, keep your eyes open, and happy hunting! Number 2. We're taking a close look at a penny, yes, just a penny, that might be sitting quietly in a drawer, a jar, or maybe even in your collection right now, without you ever realizing its real worth. The coin we're talking about is the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a worn old copper coin, but trust me, this particular penny is full of secrets, and today, we're going to uncover them together. Let's begin with a little trip back in time. It's 1949. The world is rebuilding after the devastation of World War II. In the United States, a sense of optimism is returning. Families are moving to the suburbs, televisions are becoming household items, and the American dream is beginning to take shape. The U.S. Mint continues producing the everyday coins needed to fuel a growing economy, and among them is the humble penny, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the front and the classic wheat ears on the back. Now, the 1949 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations that year: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most people wouldn't look twice at one. After all, they were minted in the hundreds of millions, so how could a single 1949 penny be worth anything more than a cent? Here's where the story takes a twist, you see. Coin collecting isn't just about age, it's about condition, rarity, and mystery. Some coins are struck with microscopic errors. Others survive for decades in absolutely perfect shape, never being circulated. A few are produced with subtle variations that make them incredibly rare. These are the coins that collectors chase with a passion. And yes, some of them are worth life-changing amounts of money. And now, back to our 1949 Lincoln wheat penny. It may have been a coin of the people, used in vending machines, lunch counters, and school cafeterias, but not all of them lived an ordinary life. A very small number of these coins were never circulated. They were tucked away in coin rolls, discovered decades later in pristine condition, untouched by time. Some were struck using older dies, creating unique characteristics. Others were part of error batches, with slight doubling of the date, misalignment marks, or even unusual finishes. On the surface, it's still that same small copper coin bearing the serious, thoughtful gaze of President Lincoln, and the iconic wheat stalks that symbolize strength and growth. But under the eye of a trained collector or a grading expert, a world of value is revealed. Collectors go wild for these rare finds, especially when a coin from such a common year somehow manages to survive in nearly perfect condition. And when that coin is authenticated, graded, and auctioned off in a competitive marketplace, it's not just about coin collecting anymore, it becomes part of history. So, could you be holding a small fortune and not even know it? It happens more often than you might think. And now, here's the part that will make you want to go searching through your collection tonight. One exceptionally rare 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, perfectly preserved, brilliantly struck, and completely original, sold for an astonishing $120,000. Yes, a single penny. Just one. Worth more than some houses. If that doesn't make you want to go digging through every coin jar, old wallet, or family keepsake, I don't know what will. Thanks for being with us on this incredible journey into the hidden stories of America's coins. If you loved discovering the secrets of the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin discoveries, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next treasure we uncover. Until next time, stay curious, keep collecting, and remember, the next great find might be sitting right in your pocket. Number 3. Where history hides in plain sight, and today's coin might just blow your mind. It's small. It's copper. And it's from the year 1950. But don't let its size fool you, because the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny might just be one of the most surprising coins you'll ever hear about. Now, let's rewind the clock to the year 1950. America was in a post-war glow. The economy was growing, suburbs were expanding, and the first hints of the rock and roll era were starting to stir. Kids were riding bikes without helmets, milk was delivered to your doorstep, and you could buy a burger for less than a quarter. It was a different world, simpler in some ways, but filled with incredible moments that shaped the nation. And during all that, the Denver Mint was busy striking coins for everyday use. Among those coins was the Lincoln wheat penny. Most Americans didn't think twice about it. It was just a penny, something to toss into a gumball machine or save up in a piggy bank. But today, decades later, one version of that coin is turning heads for all the right reasons. Let's talk about the design. On the front, we have the familiar, dignified profile of President Abraham Lincoln etched with deep respect, a symbol of honesty and perseverance. Flip it over, and there's the reverse design that gave these coins their nickname, the wheat stalks. Simple. Classic. 2 curved ears of wheat framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. It's a look that screams old-school Americana, but what makes the 1950 penny special? Why should you care about this particular year in mint? Well, the secret lies in a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and timing. While millions of 1950 pennies were minted, only a microscopic number were preserved in flawless, untouched condition. Most were passed around, scratched, dropped, and forgotten. But a few, just a lucky few, were never spent. They were placed in collections, sealed away, or left hidden in mint rolls, completely untouched by time. Even more intriguing, there are known examples with subtle errors and variations that make them incredibly desirable among serious collectors. Maybe it's a slightly misplaced mint mark. Maybe it's a doubled die. Or maybe it's simply the fact that it looks brand new even after more than 70 years. Now imagine this. You're sorting through an old jar of change. Maybe you're helping your grandparents clean out a drawer. Or maybe you're just digging through a dusty coin collection from a yard sale. You find a 1950 penny, you turn it over, and there it is. That small D mint mark beneath the date. Could it be the one? Could this tiny piece of copper change your life? Coin collecting isn't always about flash and glitter. Sometimes, it's about knowing the right year, the right mint, and the right details that turn an ordinary coin into a treasure. And trust me, this story is the reason collectors stay up late, scouring online auctions and digging through their collections with a magnifying glass in hand, because in a market full of surprises, one 1950 Lincoln wheat penny, preserved in nearly perfect condition, verified, and admired for its historical and numismatic significance, fetched a jaw-dropping price at auction. And now, it's time for that number you've been waiting for, that single, extraordinary penny sold for an incredible $115,000. Let that sink in. A coin that once bought a stick of gum, now worth more than some luxury cars. If that doesn't make you want to check every old coin in your house, I don't know what will. Thanks so much for watching, friends. If you love these stories of hidden value and historical mystery, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss what we uncover next. Until then, keep hunting, keep collecting, and remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest surprises.